Death Metal, the Multiverse Who Laughs issue 1 catches up with the Robin King, who asks his Robins to come and sit and listen to him tell some scary stories or two. Wondering where to begin, asking the kids if he should start with a Superman story, a Wonder Woman story, or even a Batman one. Robin King, however, knows that they are dying for something new and exciting, so he wonders if maybe they want to hear the story about a rich orphan kid becoming the Darkest Knight, who at that very moment is battling a literal god so he can change the rules of reality. Robin King knows that because of the Darkest Knight, there is a whole new kind of story rising in the multiverse. Stories that never could have and would have been allowed, like a Superman who is infected by cosmic radiation from a black hole, making him crave burning human flesh, or a Flash whose sped force evolved the world and turned its world into a predatory speed monster-filled nightmare hole, building societies that rise and fall within seconds. He wonders if maybe they want to hear about the Martian from Mars who decided to restart his doomed race on Earth, growing Martians within the President and other key hosts. Robin King talks about various other dark multiverses involving Parallax John Stewart's or Lois Lane's who protected her world from heroes. Robin King says all these stories are what grown-ups should be telling kids like them, because this is how it really is out in the world, and the bright stories they tell them are stupid dreams. He tells the Groblins that this isn't a dream or a hoax, this is all very real, and really to defeat the old stories they have to sully them and taint them so much with horror so that no one will ever believe they were once a shining example. He knows the genius of their Darkest Knight is each of his worlds is a deadly and sharp weapon, and this is how all of the heroes lose, and they are about to understand a multiverse who laughs is a multiverse that wins. Robin King readies to regale us and the Groblins with horrors as out in the Dark Multiverse, a Victor Zsasz is transported to Arkham, getting ready to meet the other villains in the asylum, knowing that they are all unprepared clowns or scarecrows made metal. He wonders what he will be made into in the asylum, maybe becoming a consecrated skin vicar or a skin golem. As Zsasz loses himself in his mind, he arrives at the very different Arkham, finding it more akin to a resort spa. He is welcomed in by a man named Gottlieb, who tells the villain that while his name is the German word for Amadeus Arkham, he isn't Amadeus, as he leads the killer to the group therapy, which isn't like what Victor thought it was going to be, with Kite Man sharing his thoughts on kites and how he likes them. Victor is asked to share, but he decides to let the metal do the talking, taking Kite Man hostage with a knife. Thanks to this, Victor is taken to see Gottlieb, who learns from the killer that the only hope for him is transformation, and nothing else can fix him. Victor says that he wants the man to do what he did to the heavy hitters like Harvey Dent and Waylon Jones. Gottlieb knows that they are improved, but they underwent radical treatment, which is what Zsasz really wants. As they undergo art therapy, Kite Man is asked to go with Gottlieb, which angers Victor, who follows them and learns the doctor is going to give Kite Man the deathless flesh and living metal which he deserves, since he has killed hundreds of people and etched their loss into his flesh. Victor calls Gottlieb a crawling pencil pusher who will inject him with the trank gun and transform him, or the doctor will spend the rest of his days dreaming to be able to crawl. The doctor shoots Victor with the trank gun, but soon reveals it wasn't really a trank, and he shot him with a serum that will immobilize him but keep him alive, since Kite Man will be hungry when he finishes his transformation, and a bag of blood and adrenaline like Victor will help him. Gottlieb says that Victor murdering 117 people so mindlessly is nothing, since the dark metal craves violence, but also craves craft. The zombified Kite Man awakens as the doctor says that they have death and darkness, but now they want music and poetry, and the villain wouldn't like that. Later on, Cornelius Stirk and Condiment King arrive at the asylum, welcomed by Gottlieb, who wonders if the two villains have found the things they have in common, leading them into the asylum and introducing them to the mutated horrors of Amadeus Arkham's asylum. In another Earth, Krypto arrives back to the planet Earth to find a new ring around it, a ring made of dead people. Racing down to the planet, the Superdog finds the Earth is in ruins, wondering what could have just done this in a week, as he arrives at the Hall of Justice, finding Comet, Streaky, Batcowl, and other animals. Streaky knows this is all Krypto's fault for him not being there, as she coughs up a Green Lantern's finger. Streaky knows that had the dog been there, they could have controlled this. Ace and Beppo the Super Monkey arrive, telling Krypto that it was hell as a virus spread across the globe and everyone went crazy and turned on them. Beppo explains that it all started in the Hall of Justice, as the week before, the animals all gather for their weekly meeting when they are attacked by Red Medvo, the Legion of Doom's 23rd deadliest member. The animals note how his eyes were different and the animal looked insane as he attacked. The animal heroes race into action, battling Red Medvo as Beppo manages to tranquilize the beast, allowing them to subdue him while Batcow tends to Comet's battle wounds. Beppo looks over the captured villain, finding that he was weaponized to spread a virus through contact, and the villain touched Comet, leading to all of the other super animals to become infected with the rage virus. Beppo locks them down in the lab, telling them to hold tight as he tries to find a cure. Beppo tells Crypto that the animals went insane, spreading the virus quickly as he assumes the Legion of Doom went underground to await the planet's self-annihilation. However, after 26 hours, Beppo's supercomputer finally made a cure, but despite not being able to test it, he tracked down each of the super pets and cured them of the virus. Crypto knows that that mustn't have been easy, wondering if he shared the treatment with others, but Beppo knows that there are no survivors on Earth left to give the cure to. Crypto refuses to believe that they are the last alive, especially since he had a wife and 6 puppies. The other animals soon begin to feel the cure wearing off, feeling the effects of the virus return as Beppo knows that he didn't have time to test the cure, hoping that they will let him sedate them so he can try again, but the rage-infected super pets attack Beppo and Crypto. In another universe in the Oa subsector that was once Star City, 2 teenagers run through the streets, pursued by the city's Steel Guardians. Luckily, the guards won't catch them as Green Arrow arrives, taking down the Guardians before moving the kids through the alley, wanting to get them to a safe house before it's too late. It is too late, however, as Hal Jordan arrives. Green Lantern calls Oliver a fugitive, knowing that he will get those kids killed with his treason. Oliver reminds his former friend that this is their planet and no one told the Guardians that they could take it over. Hal knows that the Guardians have brought order and peace to Earth, but Green Arrow knows his former friend has changed, and while he was always stiff, he was a good man, but now he's talking about killing kids. He wants Hal to see what the Guardians have done to his mind with their scummy ring whispering in his ear all day and all night. Oliver demands he takes it off, and after a moment to think on it, Hal says he cannot since Earth needs protecting. Green Arrow guesses this is how it's going to be, knocking the last yellow cedar arrow in his quiver as the Green Lantern attacks. In a fear toxin covered metropolis, Jean-Paul Valley is assaulted by a group of men who yank his breathing mask off, causing the man to breathe in Scarecrow's fear toxin, causing him to see monstrous Batman villains who demand to know where he got the mask from. As the fear takes over, a hammer slams into the monsters, thrown by Steel, who tells Jean to stay low as he takes care of the goons, knowing that the only way to sometimes clear one's head is the hard way. Steel smacks around the thugs, getting them to scatter as he goes to aid Jean-Paul, telling him to breathe through the toxin. The boy soon calms himself, asking if this is Gotham, but Steel says this is Metropolis, and Gotham is gone. The toxin's effects return and the boy watches as a monstrous Steel stabs him. Later at Ironworks, Jean-Paul recovers from the toxin, told by John Henry to take it easy. The hero introduces himself to Jean-Paul, who wants to know how Steel managed to survive Crane's gas tonight, since his levels were above the normal amount. John Henry says that it doesn't hit him the same as everyone else, and he has a theory that says the things that some of his people's ancestors have been forced to endure has allowed them to become calloused inside, protecting them. He says that maybe the air is filled with fear now, but for him it's just another Tuesday. Jean-Paul can't know everything the man has been through, but wants the hero to teach him. John Henry says that he can teach the man to feel the fear that he will lose everything that matters at any moment, and he can teach him to feel all of that and still move forward and believe in a day where he won't need to do that. Donning his helmet, Steel says that until then, the index is stuck at 8 and there is always more work for them to do. Death Metal, The Multiverse Who Laughs issue 1 was another wonderful and fun tie-in that showcased the more fucked up Dark Multiverse worlds, this time putting the spotlight on lesser known or secondary characters like Victor Zsasz or the Super Pets, since as Robin King says, that's more exciting since you don't know what the outcome will be, whereas stories involving Superman or Batman or Wonder Woman, you can kind of guess where they're going to be headed since they follow a certain pattern. Again, the meta commentary with Robin King addressing us as the reader was quite cool and continued that really fun and playful meta comedy that the Death Metal series is known for. Patton Oswalt's Zsasz story was probably my personal highlight of this issue. It was weird, it was creepy, and it hit all of the right notes for Zaz as a sick serial killer. I'd love to see more of these particular worlds or another anthology like this, and I think we probably might be getting them with the couple of tie-ins that are left over as we enter the final 2 issues of Death Metal, and I'd love to explore more horrific and messed up worlds within the Dark Multiverse. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.